The year is 2025 and you're searching for a Mark IV Supra. I'm here to tell you why you're searching for the wrong car and why you should be looking for the Lexus IS300. Let's get into it. In this video, we're going to be talking about it from a pure performance perspective. If you want a Supra for the performance, nowadays, it just doesn't make sense. If you want it for the nostalgia and you want it for the status of having a Supra, go ahead and get your Supra. I get it, I understand. But I'm here to tell you that there are much better ways to do it in terms of performance in 2025. Nowadays, in 2025, a Supra can range anywhere from 50 grand to 250 grand plus, right? Depending on your spec, whether it's a hardtop, it's a Targa, it's a turbo, it's a manual, it's factory paint, it's a factory twin turbo car, whatever it might be, right? You have a large range. None of it is cheap. Gone are the days of a cheap Mark IV Supra, right? So if you're getting into it from a pure performance perspective, let's go over the performance stats. So, Gren, the car is from 1993. We're talking about 35 to 3,600 pounds, depending on if it was a hardtop car or a Targa car. And that's getting up there in weight, especially for a coupe. It's a Grand Tourer. And again, it's an older vehicle. So anyone that you're buying today is likely going to need an engine build at one point. Or you buy an auto NA car for 50 grand, which is the bottom of the spectrum, and you still have to put another 50 grand in it before it's fun. So no matter what, you're spending at least 100 grand on a really solid car. Whether you bought a car that's already solid, that doesn't need a rebuild, it will eventually, or you bought something to build. But again, you're sinking lots of dollars into these things for a car that's, in my opinion, that doesn't stack up against this four-door. So let's talk about it. This car, from factory, about the same weight, 3,300 pounds. My car with the turbo swap was 3,240 pounds with the spare tire and a bunch of crap in the rear. That was when I was roll racing it a couple months ago. I put it on the scale. So let's call it 3,200 without the spare in the rear. That's a pretty light car. Now, from factory, these cars actually have a 50-50 weight distribution, which is pretty sweet. The 2J's balanced very well in the car. You add a little bit of weight when you add the intercooler, so I'm not gonna say it's 50-50 right now. Let's go with conservative, 52-48. It's a well-balanced car, nonetheless. You have four doors, so you have a ton of space for stuff. The 2JZ fits right in the engine bay like it's meant to be, because it's meant to be. Comes with a non-turbo 2JZ from factory, and it's a fun setup that way. It's a momentum car at that point. I knew when I bought the car, the goal was always to turbo it, to do the 2J build. I wanted a 2J car. I didn't necessarily want a Supra. I wanted a 2J car. So that's why I think this is the best way to go. Or an SC300 if you really want that coupe mentality. But again, that's an older vehicle. If you start talking about this car, you have all the creature comforts. The car has AC. It's wonderful AC. It's actually the coldest AC of all my vehicles. It's got a great sound system. It's Bose all around, and it sounds great. I haven't done nothing to upgrade it other than doing a head unit. It's got a ton of factory support. You have 11 different front bumper options from factory, and I chose the one that's fiberglass, which is a Vertex front bumper. It looks good. I love this setup. But a polyurethane bumper is irreplaceable. You hit a curb with that, it's just gonna bounce back. It's not gonna crack like this bumper will. I have to be a lot more careful. But can you name another car that's got 11 different factory options for front bumper for anything? No, because I can't. Even different side skirt options. You have like 4 different ones from factory and I'm talking between the US IS300 and the JDM Altezza. There are a lot of different versions of the vehicle, and there came a lot of different options. And all of that is available to you. The factory nav is another thing that's very cool. It pops up right in the middle. I've got a BTI dash in it that has all my in-dash display on there. It's got a bunch of cluster options, like you see the digital cluster that's in this car. There are like 6 or 7 more different Modelista, black ones, yellow ones, blue ones, everything. There's like 10 different headlight options between titanium ones, blue tint, black, silver, chrome, everything. It's kind of mind-boggling the amount of factory support and aftermarket support for this car. So getting back to the performance side of things, Figs Engineering does a ton of aftermarket support, from big brake kits, which I've got on this car. I've got the Racing Brake 330 mil kit on it, and I've got a bunch of their goodies throughout. And you know, this car had all the mind to be a performance car from when it was being built, with the cool pedals that are metal. It was designed by the same gentleman that did the Corolla GTS in 1986, and to me it carries all of the ethos of that vehicle with all of the creature comforts of a vehicle from the 2000s, and I love that. The car looks beautiful, as you can see. It's got a ton of character, and that's the next thing for me, is uniqueness. Next to a Supra, I mean, a Supra is a very, very, very cool car, and I'm never gonna knock that. But nowadays, you see a Supra, they're pretty cookie cutter, they're the same build, it's got a turbo. If it's on the street, it's gotta make 1,000 horsepower or it's not cool. And it's usually just a straight line monster. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I just went into it for a different reason. This car is such a fun mountain car. I had a blast in the mountains with a bunch of buddies recently. We went and took it up to Little Switzerland with a bunch of 993 Porsches and Datsun 240Zs and all this good stuff. And it's wonderful. It compares to the RX-7 in a lot of ways up there. It's different, and I love that. You know, it's a 4-door, you have to handle it a little differently, but with all of the SPL traction arms and tow arms, man, this thing just handles right. And that brings us to price. So an IS300, you can get one for 10 grand, right? For a solid setup. You used to be able to get them for cheaper. You know, for a really, really, really clean one, you might be approaching the 20 grand range. But again, that's still pennies when we're talking about a 2J car that you could put it 2J in from factory and not have to deal with a ton of BS, because it's semi meant to be in there, right? This motor it's a 1.5 JZ. I had to deal with some gremlins to get here. But at this point, the car is finally perfect. It just runs and drives. It's turnkey. I could put anybody in this car. I could put my wife in this car and not explain a thing to her. She'll understand it. But at this point, this car is a car that I could comfortably drive to the track hours away, drive and beat the crap out of it on track all day, and then drive home in AC with my music on, more than comfortable. Again, this costs about $10,000 to get into the chassis, and no matter what, you are going to build a 2J. If you want a Supra, yeah, you buy a $50,000 Supra, you got to put 50 grand into building a motor and a trans setup and whatever it might be, you're in 100 grand. Or you paid 100 grand for a Supra, it may need a rebuild in the next couple of years. Granted, the bulk of the work is done. So you can go ahead and you can fix it and get it right. But no matter what, you're still gonna spend more money on an engine build. So that's why if you want a fresh start and you want something that you can enjoy and you know from start to finish, I think it's worth buying an IS300 or an SC300 over a Supra, if you want it from a pure performance perspective. And you have the pluses of all your creature comforts, all your aftermarket support, all your OEM support. These cars are wonderful and they're slept on. And that's the biggest thing. They're unique because of that. There are so few good IS300 builds. There are a bunch, don't get me wrong, I know all of you. But you see an IS300 day to day, and a lot of the times they're kind of beat up. So go ahead, go to your local junkyard, go to your Facebook Marketplace, find your child that you are going to build and buy it. Just do it. When I was deliberating back and forth between actually doing this build or not, I was actually thinking about selling the car when it was NA and getting actually FK8 Type R came out at the time. I was thinking, man, I'm about to go to college. I don't want to have to deal with driving a swapped car, 8 hours to college, this and that. I don't regret for a second my decision to swap this car and go through all the headaches that it took to get here, because I made so many friends along the way. I made so many contacts along the way. I'm where I am in my industry because of this car. So if you have an IS300 and you're on the fence of swapping it, do it. It's gonna take some time, it's gonna take some headaches, but it's worth it. If you want a Supra for a performance perspective, scrap that, buy yourself an IS300, buy yourself an SC300. They're only going up in price. Get yourself one now before they get too expensive and before they become the next Supra, and enjoy it. This car is such a driver's car. It's worth every bit of it. I hope that you heed my advice. I hope that you enjoy every bit of it. And if you have any questions, always feel free to leave them in the comments. Leave any video suggestions in the comments as well. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I will do more of this every week. So if you have something, put it down there. I've got a bunch of driving videos coming out. I just got the new Meta glasses, so that'll start to come out soon. Going to Lufticult this weekend, and I think I'm gonna do a shooting video talking about car photography and all that. But anyway, thanks again for watching. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe. That'd be great. I enjoy doing this. You guys doing that makes it even easier to do it. I got another job. This is just fun on top of it. So please, like, subscribe, do the whole thing. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.